Hey team, today we're going to go through the important topic of working safely in confined spaces. It's crucial to understand the risks and the procedures that we need to have in place to keep everyone protected. First up, let's look at the potential hazards that you need to be aware of when it comes to this type of work. Oxygen levels can fluctuate rapidly within a confined space, either dropping too low or becoming enriched, which may lead to either breathing difficulties or combustion risks. The next thing to look out for are toxic or harmful gases such as carbon monoxide, which can build up in a confined space, or if it's the right gas, can lead to flammability risk, which could ignite with just a spark. Sometimes the environment within a confined space can be physically challenging, such as tight spaces, poor lighting, or uneven surfaces can make simple tasks quite difficult. Biological hazards are also a potential concern. For example, rat urine can carry Weil's disease, and this type of thing can pose a serious health risk. And lastly, it's worth just remembering that confined spaces can come in a range of different physical forms, such as sewers, tunnels, silos, or manholes. And each of these can contain unique risks which must be considered before working. Okay, before you set foot in the confined space, follow these critical steps to keep you safe. Always ensure that a thorough risk assessment has taken place by a competent person who understands the specific hazards of the confined space before you even consider entering it. Make sure to test the atmosphere for flammable or toxic gases that have been identified in your risk assessment. And also make sure that oxygen levels are tested to ensure that they're within safe limits. If the environment requires it, make sure that you're trained, authorised and issued with the appropriate breathing apparatus. An easy one then is just to make sure on a personal level that you're feeling fit and well before you enter the space. And lastly, make sure to check all of your communication and monitoring equipment to ensure that it's operating effectively before going in. Now let's look at a few tips that you should think about when you're working within the confined space. Remember that all of your work activities within a confined space should be controlled by a permit to work, and this should include rescue procedures. Make sure you continue to wear the PPE and clothing that you've been issued for the confined space throughout the work task. If you're working in a confined space that has potential fire or explosion risks, make sure if you're using any electrical equipment that this is approved and suitable for the environment. When you're working in or around a confined space, make sure that you're not carrying out any unnecessary or non-essential activities, such as drinking, eating, smoking, or just using naked flames or anything that could potentially act as an ignition source. And finally, make sure you're continually monitoring the air and testing your communication equipment on an ongoing basis to ensure that if something does go wrong, that you can respond appropriately. And that leads us into the last section that I want to touch on, which is emergency procedures. As we must always be prepared for the unexpected when working in high-risk areas such as confined spaces. Make sure that your rescue equipment is readily available and working if you need it. Always make sure that you know where your closest communication device is, and also that you understand the emergency protocol specific to your operation. In the event of a rescue operation, never attempt it alone. Always alert others and make sure to follow the established response protocols. Remember, your safety is paramount, so look after your individual well-being first and foremost before attempting to rescue any other person that's in distress. That's it for this short Confined Spaces Toolbox talk. If you are a supervisor or manager, make sure to brief your team properly on the expected protocols and ensure that that permit to work is fully completed and issued before work takes place. Lastly, if you have any questions or concerns, let us know now.